Hello, this is a special late night, dark, no ambient light edition of the JK show. I'm JK. I've been away for several days. I know that you missed me. I know that you find my videos intriguing. And you're wondering, why are you sitting in the dark? Well, I'm sitting in the dark because there's a few things that are on my mind, and they necessitate darkness. One, it's All Hallows Eve, or it's All Saints Eve, also known as Halloween. And I don't believe in all that satanic jazz. So I'm sitting in the dark to commemorate the somber reality that demons are real, and it might be a good idea if you don't dress up like them and make light of them, because that is dumb. So Halloween, at least the part about dressing up like demons and skeletons and other type stuff like that, is stupid. But I never had anything against black cats, so I don't know why. I don't know how that got involved. Black cats are great, especially Jonathan and Jack. They're the cutest black cats ever. More on that later. No, they're not my cats, they're someone else's cats, but I'm adopting them. So, alright. It's All Saints Eve. Actually, it'll be All Saints Day in 33 minutes. Now, I am personally not Roman Catholic, so I do not celebrate All Saints Day in the fullest sense, I guess you could say. But I come from a church, at least what I consider to be my home church, where we do celebrate All Saints Day, and that'll be, I guess, next Sunday, since this Sunday is, it doesn't fall on a Sunday this year, it falls on the 31st, so, next Sunday, I think, is All Saints Day, at least as Sunday observances go. So it's a good time to look back at heroic believers who did amazing things for Christ in past ages, and try to emulate them as best we can, because we're Christians after all, aren't we? So there we go. But also the 31st of October is Reformation Day, which it's not really proper to say that I have a love-hate relationship with Reformation Day, because really I just hate it. This is the dumbest holiday that anyone ever came up with. Most of the good stuff that Martin Luther did pursuant to reforming anything were done before he got tossed out of, the undivided Western Church. So all the reforms that came about as a result of the 95 Theses, well, I have several things to say on that. One, no one disagrees with Luther. There were some abuses going on there. John Tetzel was not a good dude, and he made the Dominicans look bad, for one thing, and he made Christ look bad, more importantly. So, not good things. And that being said, if that were all the legacy of Martin Luther, then I'm sure he would be a Catholic saint right now, but he's not. So obviously I think we can see that the Western Church has been shattered in millions and millions of pieces, mainly probably because the sola scriptura hermeneutic leads ultimately to subjectivity. So I'd like someone to explain why that's a good thing. On the other hand, if the theological innovations brought up by Luther were the most damaging aspect of Luther's protest, then why did the theses against indulgences attract so much attention, even life-threatening attention, to Martin Luther? Because he taught his new discovery on justification at the university there where he lived and worked for a year and a half without incident. So, he taught several years there of university students, whatever university meant back then. I don't think it was undergraduates. His new doctrines, and so somebody could be faulted for saying, look boys, it might not have been official teaching of the church, his new ideas on justification, but there's legitimate reason for thinking maybe it was ideas that were buried, because he didn't raise a fuss at all until he started going after Prince Albert and his illegal cut of the indulgence proceeds there. So anyway, that is both for and against Martin Luther. The ultimate legacy of the Reformation is probably bad on balance, but at the same time, even the church at the time doesn't have clean hands there, whether it be the indulgences or the fact that they didn't annoy him about the other theses that were more theological, which came first, but they only went after him after he started going after the shady fundraising practices, let's call them. Then again, coming out of the Reformation, one of the worst things to happen to the Reformed group of Christians at that time, maybe a generation later, is Calvin's signing of the Consensus Tigerinus in 1541 with Huldrych Zwingli. That was a bad mistake, because all the Reformed, which currently anyway includes me, are unable to break away from Zwingli's memorialist viewpoints on the Lord's Supper. And so even if we were to attempt a Eucharistic reconciliation with Rome or with other groups, we couldn't do so because we're bound by even our greatest proponent being chained to Zwingli. So, no offense, but Zwingli was so wrong about so much that I can't even hardly stand it. So, there we are. Zwingli, dude. God have mercy. Lord have mercy on Zwingli, because he was wrong, and wrong. The other reason I'm sitting in the dark, I'm a little bummed out about the World Series. Okay, because the Texas Rangers have fallen 3-1 behind the San Francisco Giants. They lost today's game 4-0. And Bumgarner was amazing tonight for the Giants, the starting pitcher. He nearly finished the game, but they went ahead and left the 9th inning for crazy Brian Wilson. So, that's interesting. Anyway, so I'm sitting in the dark because of the World Series. Quick update on my sports teams. The Rams are 4-4 and doing fairly well in the NFC West. They need to win a road game for the love of all that is good and holy. but for being 1-15 last year, they're playing rather well. And Sam Bradford's amazing. Secondly, hold on, let me wake up my computer. Secondly, the Minnesota Vikings are 2-5. They lost again today, just barely. It ended up being a 10-point score, 28-18. Lost to the Patriots, but it was very close until the end. And the legend, the gunslinger, Brett Favre, was knocked out of the game in the fourth quarter on a vicious hit to the chin. I'd be surprised if he plays next week, but he's definitely getting some stitches. So, Brett Favre is still BA, and at least for the moment, his consecutive starts streak, which is every bit as amazing as Ripken's streak in baseball of 2,632 games, continues. 292 consecutive games started for Brett Favre. I believe, if I'm not mistaken, that he took over the starting job for the Packers on September 20th, 1992, and he started every single NFL game since that time. So from September 20th, 1992 until today, October 31st, 2010, Brett Favre has played every single football game in the NFL, whether for the Packers, the Jets, or the Vikings. That's astonishing. Now, we have to talk a moment about these recent allegations against Brett Favre. He is my favorite football player, and he is an amazing individual, and I like him, but he's accused of sending inappropriate texts and voicemails to a former Jets employee who, previous to this, liked to take her clothes off. Not that that validates it or anything. But I'm thinking that even if everything she says is true, he's at worst guilty of adultery, which is horrible. But if Deanna put up with this much so far, I don't think she's leaving him now. And it doesn't cast much doubt on his ability as a football player, or even as, a tough human being. But, no one is perfect, and everyone falls short of the glory of God, even Brett Favre. So, let that be a warning to you if you're married, and if you happen to be surrounded by extremely attractive women on a daily basis in your job, because you can fall. Yeah, I'm sitting in the dark because the Vikings are 2-5. The World Series isn't going well. The Reformation sucks. And that's about it. Sorry I was away for a while, but I'm back now. I hope you enjoy my videos. Feel free to subscribe, I guess, if you want. Feel free to make me another video telling me how much you like my videos. Because for right now I'm not going to let you leave comments, because I don't want to police them all. So, that's another episode of the JK Show. The Lord bless you and keep you. May He make His face to shine upon you, and give you peace, both now and forevermore. I think I messed part of that up, but oh well. See you guys later.